public portion of this meeting and government operations to order. I'm Frieda Martselos. I'm the MLA for Tabasco and chair of this Government Operations Committee. And before we start the proceedings, I'd like to introduce, get the committee to introduce themselves to the public and the staff that are advising us on this bill. So go ahead. Maybe starting with MLA from Ryland Johnson, please. Maybe we can just go around the room.
Ryland Johnson, I'm the MLA for Yellowknife North. I'll pass this to my colleague Caitlin in the room, and then I believe Ron is on the line. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much, MLA Johnson. My name is Caitlin Cleveland. I am the MLA for Cam Lake.
Ron Bonatrush, MLA Decho.
And start with you, Cynthia, and then the rest of the staff and people in the room that are our advisors, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My name is Cynthia James. I am the committee clerk.
I'm Nigel Woodridge, senior researcher.
Jean Yaris, committee clerk trainee.
Stephen Dunbar, committee advisor.
Thank you.
And on the line, it's Toby Kruger, deputy law clerk.
Thank you. So today we are having the public meeting on Bill 32, an act to amend the Northern Employees Benefits Service Pension Plan Act. The Standing Committee on Government Operations will hear feedback from the public on Bill 32, an act to amend the Northern Employees Benefits Services Pension Plan Act. Today's meeting is being live streamed on the Assembly's social media channels. Due to the evolving COVID-19 situation in the NWT, as well as in the compliance with the Chief Public Health Officer's gathering restrictions in Yellowknife, the Legislative Assembly building is closed to the public. Members of the public have been asked to contact the committee clerk for call-in information to join the meeting this evening if they wish to present. The Standing Committee on Government Operations will receive a brief presentation from the sponsor of the bill, the Honourable Caroline Wozniak, Minister of Finance. We will then hear from the public. As a standing committee, it is our role to review any legislation introduced in the House. The committee review stage provides stakeholders and the public with an opportunity to provide their opinions on whether they support the bill or not. It also allows the public to suggest the changes for committee to consider by bringing forward amendments that they think may help improve the bill. Committee gathers input from the public in the form of written submissions or public presentations to committee during meetings such as this one. Committee considers all concerns brought forward and determine how best to proceed. Today, the Standing Committee on Government Operations is reviewing Bill 32, an act to amend the Northern Employee Benefits Service Pension Plan Act. Here's a brief summary of the bill. This bill amends the Northern Employee Benefits Services Pension Plan Act to ensure continued effective regulation and oversight of the NEBS pension plan. The bill redefines the names of and names the pension committee required under the Act. Changes the requirements for the composition of the pension committee. Clarifies the ability of the pension committee to make rules, policies, and procedures addressing matters, including those prescribed by regulation, and allows the commissioner in the Executive Council to make regulations creating temporary exemptions from the Act or temporary variations of provisions of the Act. Bill 32 is available on the Legislative Assembly's website. I will now invite the Honourable Caroline Wozniak, Minister of Finance, to open the proceedings on Bill 32. Following the Minister's comments, committee members may make comments or pose questions on the bill. Minister Wozniak, please introduce your witnesses for the record and please proceed with your opening remarks and presentation.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Good evening, everybody. Madam Chair, I am here to present Bill 32, an act to amend the Northern Employees Benefit Services Pension Plan Act. Joining me this evening, I have Mr. William McKay, Deputy Minister of the Department of Finance, Ms. Lauren Alexandra, Director for Shared Corporate Services, Sherry Girock, Legislative Counsel, and Laura Archer, who's my Senior Advisor. I do have some brief opening remarks. Northern Employees Benefit Services Pension Plan, or NEBS, is a defined benefit pension plan that operates both in the Northwest Territories and in Nunavut. It provides pension services for municipal, local housing authority, and nonprofit sectors in both jurisdictions. The NEBS pension plan has been in existence, one form or another, for over 40 years. The legislation to formally establish the pension plan in both jurisdictions was not enacted until October of 2015. Generally, the NEBS plan is self-regulating. Government provides minimal oversight of the day-to-day operations of the pension plan, which is administered by the NEBS Pension Committee for the benefit of plan members in accordance with the plan's documents. Late in the summer of 2020, the NEBS boards of directors approached the Government of Nunavut and Government of the Northwest Territories with a proposal to update and amend a limited number of clauses in each of the respective governments' mirror Northern Employee Benefit Services Pension Plan Act. Between September and late November of 2020, the governments of Nunavut and Northwest Territories, along with NEBS, met several times to consider the merits of some proposed amendments and to draft mirror legislative proposals. In December of 2020, the Nunavut Cabinet approved a legislative proposal to amend NEBS legislation. In January of 2021, GNWT's Cabinet approved a similar legislative proposal, which was then previously shared with committee. The proposed changes to the existing NEBS Act involve four distinct amendments. First, the proper designation of the Pension Committee. Second, changes to the composition of the Pension Committee that will provide more flexibility with respect to the number of members representing the interests of employers and those members representing the interests of individual plan members. Third, an expansion of the power that the Pension Committee has with respect to implementing policies and procedures required for proper administration of the pension plan. The minister responsible for the NEBS Pension Plan Act will also receive a new power to regulate the scope and reach of the proposed new policies and procedures. And finally, fourth, a new regulatory power will be provided to the minister responsible for the NEBS Pension Plan Act in order to approve temporary measures necessary to permit a timely response to a crisis or emergency that could imperil the financial standing of the pension plan and negatively affect the benefit security of its members. This proposed new power would be based upon similar provisions contained in the Federal Pension Benefits Standards Act. I am prepared to answer any questions that members of the Standing Committee might have with respect to Bill 32. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Minister Wozniak. Committee, I will now open the floor for questions and comments to the Minister. Are there any questions?
Madam Chair, not seeing any.
Okay. So committee, if there is no questions or comments, seeing none, I believe this concludes the stage of our review. Madam Clerk, are there any requests from the public to appear before committee?
No, Madam Chair, there were none. Thank you.
Okay, so there's no submissions from the public, Madam Chair. There was no submissions. Seeing that there's no comments or witness presentations, does the committee agree to proceed to a clause-by-clause review of Bill 32? The Northern Employees...
Agreed.
Okay, thank you. So we'll do it clause by clause on page 1. So let's turn to page 1. Clause 1 of Bill 32. Does the committee agree?
Agree.
Clause 2?
Agreed. Agreed.
Okay, clause 3 and clause 4.
Madam
Agreed
Chair.
to clause 3 and
Sorry, Madam Chair, I was just going to ask if we can do clause 3 first before doing clause 4.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Clause 3.
Agreed.
agreed.
Clause 4.
Madam Chair, I'd like to move a motion for Clause 4.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you,
Emily.
Madam Chair. Thank you, Madam Chair. I move that Clause 4 of Bill 32 be amended in 1 sub B by striking out quotation half of whom are members and substituting quotation between 1/3 and 1/2 of whom are persons. And Madam Chair, the purpose in this amendment is that we have mirrored legislation that, as the Minister said, that Nunavut is proposing. However, they use the broader category of persons as opposed to members. So just to resolve any conflicts between the two pieces of the legislation amendment we made.
So the motion is in order. The motion is on the floor. To the motion.
Question.
Question has been called. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So the motion is carried. Does the minister confer with the amendment?
Yes, I do, Madam Chair. Thank you.
The minister concurs with the amendment. Thank you. So Clause 5 on page 2. Agree?
Agreed.
Clause 6?
Agreed.
Clause 7?
Agreed.
Agreed.
Okay. Does the committee agree that Bill 32, Northern Employees Benefit Services Pension Plan Act, is now ready as amended for consideration in the committee as a whole?
Madam
Agreed.
Chair, I move, Madam Chair, this is MLA Cleveland. I move that Bill 32, Northern Employee Benefit Services Pension Plan Act, be reported to the Assembly as ready for consideration in Committee of the Whole. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Motion's in order. Motion's on the floor. To the motion.
Question.
Question has been called. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So that concludes this portion of the meeting. I want to thank Minister Wozniak and everyone for attending.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair and committee. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Minister Wozniak, and thank your staff for taking part in this bill. Committee, there's a motion to go in camera.
MLA Cleveland.
Thank you.